Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online talk show where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations that are impacting lives positively, and as well to celebrate positive news, people, places in Africa and outside Africa. My name is Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, known as Dr. Mama K. And in today's episode for the month of August, as we celebrate South Africans Women's Month, we will be celebrating my previous conversations with three amazing women, inspirational South African women who are doing so much, in South Africa. And yes, do you know what it means for us to say is Africa's Day or Africa's Month in South Africa? I know, yes, the International Women's Day is in March, and in South Africa we celebrate the Women's Day and Women's Month for the whole of August because of what happened in 1956 when we had 20,000 women march to the Union Building in Pretoria to rebel, protest about the fact that why, should African people be carrying past to a white area? Remember, this was during the time of apartheid. So yes, this amazing 20,000 women said no, enough is enough in 1956. And they were led by 4 or 5 powerful other women, who led the march, including Mama Sisulu. And yes, the popular saying is, when you strike an African woman, you strike a rock. So that's the history of what Africa, Women's Day means for us in South Africa. So yes, we do it twice in a year and every day, as it is, like I keep saying, with all these special days. So yes, we will be focusing on 3 inspirational South African women who are doing amazing things. And when I say South African women, some of them, they're might be born, like me, outside South Africa, but I still regard myself as a woman in South Africa. So I will start by, not in any particular order, Miss Daniella Djan. She is a founder, CEO of Peculiar Prodigy, and she's based in Cape Town. And she is from, has a background, in Ghana. So yes, and she's been here since teenage, yes, so she is more or less she is South African, but in terms of her place of birth is Ghana. And when I had this amazing talk with her, it was just so awesome. The title was Hungry for Knowledge, and it shows she's a lady hungry for knowledge. And my second person that will be featuring, another wonderful inspirational person, is Mrs. Portia Hermanus. She is a founder of Glamour Girls Foundation, and they're doing wonderful things in the northern suburb with girls. Like I keep saying, you need to watch the whole conversation. Go to a YouTube page to watch it. And the title of the full conversation I had with her was Be the Change, which is very important. We all need to be the change. And last but not the least, we will feature Miss, a very, very young, dynamic lady, Miss Chantelle Manesa. She is the founder, director, and CEO of Chennesoul Makeup and Beauty. She is doing amazing things in the community as a beauty queen, as a change maker, as a young person, as an entrepreneur. And the title of the conversation with her was Grass to Grace. Well, we'll start very soon with Daniella. Enjoy.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the challenges, before we finish this segment, what are some of the challenges that you've experienced? I know you said only just under 2 years ago, before. Under 2 years, you've accomplished, a lot, I believe. What are some of the challenges you've experienced as a publisher or even just running the business, and how have you managed to deal with them?
So yeah, there have been challenges in terms of just keep on going, keeping on going, being disciplined to carry on every day, even though you don't see because as entrepreneurs, you've got the big vision, you've got that, it's enormous and it must get there now. And just having the patience and being consistent and being patient about just doing the work every day, and not getting easily discouraged. I think my biggest challenge has been, I'm a very zealous person.
Okay.
Very, got lots of zeal and lots of enthusiasm, but once someone like pops it a little bit, it'll pop for a good week or so, and then I'm like, okay, no, get over it now, let's do it, and that takes a lot of time. And so my challenge has been the fact that I do tend to get discouraged easier than what most entrepreneurs should not be, and so what to get over it is just to have mentors around me and people that are my cheerleaders, people that can challenge me and say, look, like, it happens, you're going to get lots of no's before you get yeses, keep on going. And so that, to kind of quell that problem, I've surrounded myself with people that can push me when I feel a bit down.
So let me now go to something totally, back to Peculiar Prodigy, because obviously you're a leader, what you're doing, where you go, life coaching and so on. What are some of the qualities that you feel a leader should have? And, an entrepreneur, even like you?
Sure. It leads to the question of just what, for me, is the definition of success. And for me, success is the daily discipline of being able to align your lifestyle with your purpose.
Right.
And having clarity on what it is that you're meant to be doing. And this is a discovery. It's not like one day you wake up and it's like, oh, it's this. And that's the beauty of it. It's a process of exploring and discovering and just a journey of finding, what it is that really makes your heart come alive. And once you've found those things, just to run with that. And being a leader is just someone that has that vision, has that clarity, and has the determination and the chutzpah to do it, whether or not people are on their boat now or they'll come on later. But just to have that focus and that drive to know why they're doing it and to push ahead until people are like, oh, okay, I can see now, and I always knew that you could do it, but you're like, did they? Having that surety and that confidence that, what the vision that you have, whatever it takes, it'll happen.
So what are some of your life lessons that you've, I know you're still very much young, but I still believe, in terms of your journey, your dad, qualified surveyor, your mom, in terms of, what was your mom's background?
She's into administration.
Administration, okay.
Yes.
So that and being a caregiver, which that alone, is like a home engineer, for you, managing, all the hospital and so. So what are some of the key life lessons, that you would share with a younger 7-year-old Daniella in Accra?
Sure, 7-year-old.
To say, if only, not regret, but what are some of the,
just be exposed as much as you can.
Okay.
I think that is so important. It doesn't have to do with money at all. You can find creative ways of exposing yourself to different people, to different experiences, to different perspectives. It's so important in terms of your growth, and that's another thing. Just being keen and being willing to grow every day. There's a quote by Ellen de Botton that says, if you're not embarrassed about who you were last year, you probably aren't growing enough. And it's so true to put value on your growth. To always be learning, always be hungry for knowledge, be reading, be asking questions. Because even in the Bible, Jesus asked more questions than he gave answers. Because and that's even the way the Greek philosopher Plato. That's how he that's how he learned, and that's how he became so popular, because he asked questions, and by asking questions, it's also the one of the key cornerstones of coaching, life coaching, that you ask questions so that you can get the answers. The person that you're asking can come with the answers themselves.
Yes.
You know, and so yeah, growth is important, and just knowing who you are, being steadfast, and be humble about who you are, but you know, just pushing forward. So yeah, growth is very important. Also, just, you know, emotional intelligence is incredibly important as well. And I think you've got a question that will come after that, but just knowing yourself and knowing others, being able to manage yourself, and being able to deal with others in a way that is conducive to yourself and to the society. That's a skill. And people think, no, it's common sense, but it's not common to everyone, you know. And even being a leader is one of the most important things. Be emotionally intelligent, knowing yourself and how to deal with other people.
Wow, Daniella, thank you, so much for sharing, your challenges and experience as a publisher and, running a business and how you're managing it. And you heard it there, being discouraged by people, whereby people just discourage her. And she felt you need to surround yourself with the right people who can push you and help encourage you and give you courage, as you go. Thank you, Daniella, for that tip. Okay, our next clip is on Mrs. Portia Hermanus, where I asked her, what does it mean to be a leader? Who is a leader? Enjoy. So what would you say then for you is the definition of success? And who is a leader?
Okay, so the definition of success is if you as a leader can communicate to the rest of your team and say that it's not about me, this is about us. So it's about teamwork. That is what I believe in. And a good leader delegates. And also a good leader, she honors where her team is at. So for example, if they have good strength in a certain area, let them live out their dream with you to make a success of our NGO, because it's not about me, it's about the children that we. So a good leader delegates, a good leader communicates well, and also honor her team, her volunteers, because without those volunteers, I'm nothing. I can't do without any volunteers. People buttering bread, cooking those big pots of biryani, and I can't do anything. So a good leader delegates and honors her team that she works with.
What life lessons? I know there's been a lot, and don't be deceived. She looks very young. She's past 50. We're on the 5th floor together, and she looks so young. So I know you've had a lot of life experience over the years. So what life experience do you want to share with any of your young girls, or that you've even been sharing with them, to say you need to do this is what I learned? Just share some with us.
Okay, you mean what I've been through and to encourage them? Exactly. Yeah. So what I've been through, I've learned that encouraging them emotionally it's very, very important. For the reason being, I've also been through a little bit of emotional distress growing up as a child, and I know that my parents being there for me, especially during the boycott times when that was a bit much, and although their stress is different, mine was different. Mine was dealing with political issues and all of that, and getting
at a young age.
Sure, at such a young age, and that was in my teenage years. And teenagers are vulnerable. So so I would love to encourage them by saying, share Share what's going on in your heart.
Okay.
And if you share, then I can help you. But if you hide it, you will maybe hang yourself, you know. So I'm glad that if you can share and tell us what's bugging you. I know it's difficult, but we never judge. And you know me, I never judge. So that is a life experience that I can say to them, that share what's bugging, and share what hurts. Yeah, especially those that some of the girls or the boys belong to gangs, and that's heartbreaking, but I know why, because they had no father figure. And from that.
So thank you, my dear sister Portia, for that. And I completely agree with you. Being a good leader definitely means, yes, you need to be able to communicate with your team, and you need to be good to people as well. Thank you for those amazing tips, Portia. Okay, last but not the least, it is our dear Chantelle, where I was asking her what life lessons she wants to share with us, especially for somebody that maybe at the age of 7 or 8 as a young Chantelle, because yes, sometimes we don't know what we are going to experience in life, but sometimes we're like, oh, I wish I'd done that, I wish I'd done that. So let's hear what Chantelle had to say. Can you share with us some life lessons that you have learned in the past, maybe from 16 or even before that, because you were selling, with your dad,
dad.
Like you said, with the cat and so on. So what are some of the life lessons you've learned over the years that could help a young Chantelle back in Harare?
Okay, amazing. So let me say that your greatest enemy is perception. That little voice telling you that you're not enough, you don't deserve it, is that same voice that degrades you. Now, if you look at yourself at a bigger level, you're saying to myself, I am a leader, I can do it, I am this, then you're probably bound to achieve. So I've learned lessons of like standing strong and firm, not lacking confidence, not saying that because of the background that I come from, I can't make it. Background is only a place. Because growing up, I used to think because, my family is probably poor, then I'm not recognized. When I stand in front of the big women, the people with purpose, then I won't be recognized. But look at me, I'm participating in big events like the Mama K, like the African fundraising challenge. I'm given bigger platforms, but it doesn't matter of where I came from. So I'm saying that to every girl child, that it doesn't matter, your background is only a place. It's about you, what you're willing to change, what you're willing to shape, what you're willing to become in life that matters. I've also learned to also love myself wholly, because there's a time that I'm thinking I'm skinny, so I'm not worth it. Girls saying because of my body, if you're fat, you're skinny. It doesn't matter. It's about what's in your brain, what you can bring to the table. And I've also learned to be the best entrepreneur ever, because growing up, it's about me coming from a story where we didn't have my dad being vendor, then me also growing and like becoming better than him. It's like I'm taking from the footsteps, but I'm making it bigger. I'm like makeup, and because I'm looking at makeup, I'm looking at me just growing 10 steps ahead. 5 years time, having my own makeup shop, teaching girls like to do the makeup, teaching ladies, offering the platform, speaking to them like not only through makeup, but we're talking to the ladies, going into their mind, offering them therapy at the same time. So I'm looking at myself saying that
you mentioned there with the homeless situation, obviously, that sometimes we have amongst them, you know, artists or people who have a talent, you know, that maybe no one, you know, has seen, and they're called vagrants or they're seen as nuisances, you know, and so on. For you, what else do you think we can do more of? You know, I know you said we could give them a platform, you know, to promote them, you know. So what more can we do? Because I believe a lot of them don't really want handout, and they found themselves on the streets out of not something they planned, or yes, somehow on the street because they want to be. But what more specifically on the homeless do you think we can do?
Okay, so what we can do, I'm appealing to organizations, if they can go and do interviews, pick some of them and hear their stories out, because most of them, they're in the streets because of situation. They used to be like businessmen, they like go to zero, then they're there. So we need to know their story first. Second, we need to see what they do. Then we need to create a hub now where they have training, and then we exhibit their art. If we have a singer, then it means we're giving them show. We artists, we're giving them platforms. We have like educators, because like not everyone in the street is like mentally disturbed, but there are others who have degrees. There are others who are doctors out there, but it's a matter of situation. So if this organization can like create a hub to empower them, talk to them, mentor them, change them, I think that's the way to go. Can
I like
create a
that.
better Africa.
I love that, and I think
you.
that's in line with what we're doing here, sharing your story.
That's
so we
true.
need to hear the story for them as well, to be able to empower them. Wow.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chantelle, and I completely agree with you. Yeah, standing strong, not lacking confidence, because yes, most times, you know, sometimes a lot of us, you know, lack confidence and don't have that self, you know, esteem, and, you know, not looking at the background, like you said, you come from, whether be it a poor background, a background that you're not proud of, not looking back on that, and yes, you know, knowing that you can't make it big, but just be confident, you know, in yourself. And I see that oozing in you, Chantelle. You know, you're a very confident lady, standing strong in what you believe, not allowing where you come from to determine where you're going and where you are at the moment. Thank you, Chantelle, for that tip. Okay, that's all we've got time for with these three amazing young people. They are so good. Daniella, thank you. Portia, thank you. Chantelle, thank you. We honor you. Well done. Kudos for all you continue to do. And like I said, please, if you want to hear more about what they do, support them in any way, either through donation, buying their books, you know, just supporting them in any form of way, or engaging, you know, in the business. Like Chantelle, she runs a beauty and makeup business. Please follow them. You will share the details at the end of this program, and as well watch the full YouTube conversation that I had with them, which will just inspire you, because I was truly inspired, and that is on our Bold Moves Africa YouTube page. Yes, we continue to celebrate South African women, and we're just so proud of them being who they are, being confident in what they do, putting back in the community, making a difference, you know, wherever they are, and inspiring others through knowledge, the book, you know, that Daniella has written over the years. Kudos to you all. So yes, women are nation builder, and we'll continue to celebrate all our women in South Africa and Africa. Well, that's all we've got time for today, and this is me, Dr. Mama K, signing off, saying stay safe, stay blessed, love you all, God bless you.